Hello friends, it is I'm wearing my jammies, so excuse me. I wanted to make an art journal video today because I have this, here. I have this old planner. It's a Moleskin planner, which is super cool. And it's super fancy, it's pretty thick, very like sturdy, you know. And it felt like a waste to just throw it out. I barely used it. It's a 2020 one. My mom gave it to me. I used to use it a bit for when I was in grad school. And then I made some notes, and I think I used to write some notes in here for when I TA'd my, oh my god, Durkheim. When I was TAing my tutorial class. Junie, leave me alone. She's meowing outside. Yeah, and then I stopped, and it just feels like a waste to throw it out. So I figured, why not turn it into a little art journal. The pages are pretty thin, which is kind of annoying. I did test in the very back, if I can find it, yeah. I did test how different art supplies would do on it. So I did watercolor and gouache, water-based markers, water-based fine liners, alcohol markers, and some acrylic paint, and even some ink at the bottom. And they all kind of sucked, unfortunately. The alcohol markers did the worst, of course, but that's okay. I figured I would just like staple or glue in a lot of different like pages into here. I can even glue 2 pages together so that it looks better. So I'm not too concerned. My only thing is I really hope that the binding, the glue binding, can withstand me making this thing thicker and thicker and thicker, because you can see just from that one page that I did the art stuff on, it's already like so much bigger. So, and I just discovered that this thing has like some stickers in the back here, which is random. I think I'll probably save these for like my actual bullet journal, because it's cool. It's got little things, but that's awesome. There's a little pocket here in the back. You know how I feel about pockets. So every page is like this tan color, and a lot of them are empty, but they actually look quite nice. So I can always just draw or paint or write directly on them. I don't have to cover up that much. We're going back to the very front. And this is perfect because while I was getting ready to film this video, a package arrived from my friend Sandra. She just opened her Etsy shop. And by the time this video is up, she's probably gonna have her first YouTube video up, so I'll link it below. But one of the things I got was the sticker, and so I figured I would smack it right here in the front, right here. So I'm really hoping that this thing ends up going well for me, this journal, because I don't want to have to waste the sticker. But yeah, let's start with that. I usually am just a sticker hoarder, and I never put them down anywhere, so this is a first for me. Okie dokie, the start of a new bullet journal. Ta-da! Okay, first page. This is like the back of the cardboard thing, so I figured I could like be a little bad with it and do whatever. So I'm gonna bring in my black paint and just a thing, and we're gonna go to town. My goals for this journal is to just do whatever it is that I want to do and not care and not have it be super perfect. And like, I already bought a specific journal to do that in, and then of course I can't. So I figured repurposing something that no longer has use would be the thing that does it for me. Because I do want to practice more like precise art. Like I want to really force myself to, you know, try and get down on paper what I see in my imagination. But I find that type of art very tedious. So unfortunately, I don't actually end up doing it a lot of the time because I'm a lot more drawn to just going like very free and freehand and loose. So having an art journal will hopefully let me get all of my just frustrations out and teach me how to be a little less perfect and less overthinking with it. So I did not really make a plan for this. I mean, obviously I had to think about something, but I'm just going for it. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. And on this page, if you can't see, it says, in case lost, please return to Christina Movila. And then it says, as a reward, you get 0, just give me. It's cute, but I think I'm gonna cover it. For that, I'm probably going to glue down some things from my thing. It's an old book, and I'm probably just gonna take out some pages and maybe rip a few more, maybe just one more. And I think I'm just gonna glue down a bunch of them so that this whole thing is covered, but I don't think I want hard edges, so I'm gonna rip the sides so that there's no hard edges. Another one. Well, that's one way to do it. I'm having so much fun already. I gotta cover it all. There's one, there's two, there's three. I think my thing just died. I've decided that I'm gonna put these two pieces over here in the middle. You'll see what I do with that later. And then these just need to be glued down. Ooh, it's fun to be messy. A little bit unhinged. The thing that I didn't realize before I started making videos is that these things are actually very labor intensive. Like your filming is usually hours long because that's how long it takes for you to do like one thing. So editing is also a really big pain because you have to cut down. Like you want to show the process, but you don't want to show too much because it's kind of boring. Yeah. Am I taking a chance to vent? I guess I am. It's totally fine with me if like little pieces of white peek through. I think it just kind of adds a little bit to the aesthetic of it all. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm just using some of the scraps that I have left over because I don't want to waste them. Ta-da! Okay, this page is done, and on over here I think I'm going to glue these down in the middle here. Beam bop. Okay, now that I did that, I have this book, and a long time ago, maybe 2 years, I shoved some plantsies in here, so I'm thinking of taking one and gluing it down like this. There's also this. I think that looks good. Let's see what else is in here though. Maybe this is better. I'm thinking maybe that. No, I think the original one was the best because it's like, gives it a little bit of a pop of color. So now I'm just gonna glue it right here. And you know, these can all go in there too. To keep it in place, I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape. That is one. That's cute, but I kind of want a little bit of something else, so I'm going to use this one too. And then I have this Mod Podge over here, so I'm going to just glue it over because I want to seal it in place. I decided to add another piece of washi just because I wanted more of a pop of color on that page. There we go. That's better, I think. And then we're going in with the Mod Podge, and I have this nasty crusty brush that I can use for that. Covering it all up real nice. It just needed to be covered. And I'm putting some on the washi too so that they never move. Come on now. Come on now, act right. Act right, come on. Okay, for this page, I think I'm gonna do, I have this picture of myself here. I'm holding a little cup and it says perfectly single. I'm gonna place it maybe down here, or should I do the middle? No. And maybe I should have like a little background thing for that though, because it's looking a little meh. Maybe just some white paper. I'm gonna get rid of this even though it's pretty. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And so I'm gonna do those things here. And then over here, I have this giant jumbo marker and I'm gonna write with this over here. I'm gonna write the life of a big girl. And I wanted to put this down just because I'm thinking of maybe starting another channel with that name, but also because like big girl refers to me being all grown up and like kind of having to take control of my own life and be on my own. And ever since I was really young, I have always been very terrified of the world. Everything has always seemed so like big and scary and I never really thought that I could do it or like contribute anything to society because I was just too scared of everything. So that is one kind of thing that this page means. Another thing is that I am a big girl. I am fat, and I've been living in a larger body for a while, and even when I wasn't large, people treated me like I was, and I really thought that I was. So it's been a long journey with me, my body, and feeling things about my body, and I'd like to own it. I'd like to love myself more. I'd like to not lead a life where I care that much about what my body looks like. I'd like to love my body for what it does for me and not feel so pressured to look a certain way. I'd like to improve my relationship with my food, and I'd like to just live a peaceful life. So this is what the page kind of is inspired by. Like, as you can see, it's messy and it's quick, and that makes me happy. I'm gonna have to let this dry because I can't open anything until this is dry. So we will wait to do that, and I will continue the next page. We'll see what I can put down there. I have a lot of like things that I collect in daily life that I probably have no business collecting, and I need a place to put them. So it's kind of going to be like an art journal, kind of going to be like scrapbooking. I definitely want to stick art in here. I want to draw things in here. Oh, I know I stored away somewhere like a bunch of the little not wishes, but what are they called? The ones that you get from fortunes from a fortune cookie. I used to collect those, and I know I put them in a book somewhere. I gotta find those and stick them in here with some Mod Podge so that they can live on forever and not just randomly somewhere in a corner. It's a new day, and some things have happened off camera because I am impatient. I wrote art journal with a Posca pen in the front just in case I was ever confused. And I did 2 pages that I didn't film. They're no big deal. I was just chatting with a friend and I wanted to have my hands busy. So the first page I did with just watercolors. I just did stripes with 3 different colors just for funsies, and I try to fade it out towards the bottom. Just needed something for my handsies to do. And then the following page, I just glued down some stuff. It was the scraps from the previous page. Didn't want to waste them. I figured why not? And I left a little blank space in the middle here. I think I'm probably gonna write like a poem or a phrase, but I don't know which one I want to yet. So I'm just gonna leave it for now because this is very chill. I can come back to it if I want to. Now for the following 2 pages, I wanted to do something that, you know, can remind me of my old place that I used to live when I lived with my besties, and I spent 5 years in that house when I was in uni. I wanted to do a little memory sort of page thing, so I decided to draw my old house. I just went in with pencil crayons, and I wasn't taking myself too seriously, and that's why it was fun and chill. I tried to use some like complementary colors to give some pop. It doesn't look as good on camera as it does in real life, but that's okay, and it made me really happy just to like reminisce. And I changed some colors a little bit because the house itself was like super boring from the outside, so I wanted a little bit of pop. And I wrote Hamilton, that was the city, and then Dalewood was the street, and I wrote memories of a place at the top, and this is a little place card for my memories. It was actually really hard to find a picture of the thing, so I just Google Mapped it, but I spent a few hours trying to find a picture, so that was a waste of time before I realized I could just look on Google. And then the following page, I decided to glue down this sketch that I had. I remember this used to hang on my old corkboard when I lived in Hamilton, and so I decided I wanted to incorporate it, but it's kind of large, so I decided to just glue it down, half of it. I cut it down to size so that it matched the pages, and then I just left it the way it was folded in half, and I glued one side down so that it kind of creates a little booklet and it opens. And then I added some washi on the side because I kind of glued it down lopsided and I wanted to make it look like it was straight even though it wasn't. So yeah, it's like a little booklet, but I decided I was at first going to glue this stuff like on the inside, like pictures and stuff, but I decided not to, so that I could see it later. So I have a bunch of old pictures that I printed out when I was still in school and had access to the fancy printer, and I had some like thicker paper, so it was perfect. Fortunately, then COVID hit and I had to go home, so I didn't have access anymore, but I still have some leftover pictures and knickknacks and stuff, so I decided to put them in, and it was so fun. I have some pictures of my last walk that I did in Hamilton before I moved back. I have pictures of my roomies from my old place. Some memories are good, some memories are bad. An old doggo that my roommate used to babysit, and my two besties. I don't have pictures printed of them in the house, but this was a picture of a trip we did to Toronto, but I couldn't not include them because they are basically the house. When I think back to all the memories we shared together. So yeah, and then this is also a Marauders, which is like McMaster, my university, that was our mascot or whatever. So this is a tattoo, like a temporary tattoo, and I think this was all the way back from first year. I never put it on myself, but I have a couple, so I decided to put it down. And this is the page. Oh my god, I glued some stuff underneath. Math paper, checkered. Oh my god, my brain. Whatever, grid paper, and an old thing from a tea bag, and some white paper just to give a little bit of contrast. And this is how it turned out, and it's really cool. I decided to put a little bit of tape in the corner of the piece though, because it was like flopping around, so if I ever want to see the inside, I can always just remove that tape. And I thought I was gonna be done after this, but actually I'm not. I decided to put in like another sketch that I did for art class. I took one single art class at university as an elective, and they had a sketch like our surroundings, and I used to live in the basement back then, so I did a sketch of me chilling on my bed with a book and a mug, and I made the basement look like it was kind of a prison because there's very little sunlight, and it's a little bit dingy in there, and yeah, I was trying to be cool, but I glued that down in too because I don't really know where else to keep this art, like the sketch, and it is memories of my time in Hamilton. So yeah, these are the pages that I have so far. Here's everything from the very beginning. I had so much fun. I don't know if these pages are gonna hold up. I really hope that they do, and I was definitely still overthinking everything, but not to a degree as I normally do when I make art. So this is exactly what I wanted this to be, and I'm excited to get rid of a lot of my random pieces of paper that I keep as if I scrapbook. I guess this is kind of like a scrapbook / art journal. So I'm excited to stick all that shit in there so that it doesn't just hang around in random boxes all over my room and stuff. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next week, hopefully. Please like and subscribe if you want to, which I hope you do. And have a good day. Bye.